Lisa, we have your daughter. She's safe in police custody. Those were the haunting words the police officer said to me on the phone as he sat next to my daughter in the police station. For 2 days, she had been missing. She had run away from home because the kids at school were teasing her, saying she was going to end up like her fat mommy. And although I was worried sick about her, I couldn't help but feel they were right. My daughter ran away from home and put her life at risk because I had 46 pounds of blubbery belly fat that spilled out of my jeans like an overflowing milkshake. I should have noticed it sooner. My daughter's mood was sour, more than normal. She'd come back from school without eating any of her food, and she spent more time on her phone avoiding talking to me. But I was so distracted, fighting with my husband every day, who completely stopped paying any attention to me, drooling over younger women that walked by, that I missed it, putting my daughter's health and life at risk. But even though it broke my heart into a million pieces, I'm so thankful for this moment because it led me to discover the root cause of my stubborn belly fat and the green Thai dessert that melted all 46 pounds of my nagging belly fat in just a few short weeks. Going from this, fat, self-conscious, and the reason my daughter ran away from home, to this, glowing, slim, and powerful, someone my daughter could look up to and rely on. And as you'll see in just a few moments, I'll show you how anyone, no matter their age, genetics, or how many times they've failed in the past, can use this weird green Thai dessert to melt every ounce of excess belly, hip, and thigh fat. Without cardio, without going on weird diets, without weird lemon detoxes, and without fasting or starving yourself. It has to do with a little-known digestive molecule that scientists are now saying is at the very root of weight loss problems, because it's specifically responsible for breaking down the food you eat and storing it directly onto your waistline. When you're young, you have normal amounts of this digestive molecule, so you can eat whatever you want and still be hot. But research found in 2022 revealed that as age goes up, so do the levels of this digestive molecule, which is why when you eat foods now, even healthy foods like fish, they stick to your ever-expanding waistline like glue. However, when you block the molecule with this green Thai dessert, you can eat whatever you want. Pasta, pizza, even cake. And the food will slide right out of you without sticking to your waistline. One study showed that participants who ate this green Thai dessert lost over 3 times more weight than the placebo group. If it sounds too good to be true, I don't blame you. Honestly, if I didn't see the transformation in my own body, I wouldn't have believed it either. So I had some of my girlfriends try out this sample solution as well. My college best friend, Tiffany J., 58, dropped 32 pounds of ugly, saggy belly fat that haunted her for years. Going from this, her bloated belly flopping over her belt buckle, to this. Her pre-baby figure radiates energy and playfulness. My husband's sister, Stephanie L., dropped nearly 9 dress sizes and 10 inches off her waist. Going from this, feeling trapped and suffocated by her belly fat, to this. And now she slips effortlessly into her clothes in her 20s. And my sister, Dana W., who struggled with weight problems after having her 4th child, used this simple solution to drop all the extra 64 pounds she was carrying from her 4 pregnancies. Going from this, full of anxiety, depression, and fighting with her husband all the time, to this, feeling totally free, confident, and in control, and reigniting the passion in her marriage once again. Just imagine when you step on the scale 1 week from now after trying this green Thai dessert, and you've lost a couple pounds, while eating your favorite foods like ice cream, chocolate, and French fries every single day. How confident and in control you'll feel. And as the weeks go by, you'll start to see your love handles will slowly shrink. Your tummy gets flatter and more toned. And for the first time in a long time, you start to look younger as the glow and elasticity of youth returns to your skin and body. leaving you happier, healthier, and feeling more sexy and confident than you have in years, even decades. Don't be surprised when your partner can't keep their hands off of you, and your friends and family start begging you for your secret. The same green Thai dessert that's proven by researchers from 3 different continents to target the real root cause of belly blubber and incinerate it in mere weeks. I'm so excited to share it with you all. It's so simple and powerful, the executives and lawyers at Big Pharma are trying to shut this page down, which is why you need to read every word on this page right to the very end. I know you might be skeptical, but all I ask is that you keep an open mind. Read the life-changing research, and then decide for yourself if what I'm telling you is the truth. But before we go any further, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Lisa Shields. I live in a small town near Seattle, Washington, together with my husband and my 2 daughters, Jamie and Jessie. I'm not a doctor, nutritionist, or personal trainer. In fact, I'm an average, hardworking American mom and a proud paramedic. It's a job where every detail matters, and where I see the devastating effects of being overweight in real time. But not just for overweight men and women like I was, but for their family. So you can imagine my surprise when, despite following all the information I was taught in paramedic school and everything we tell our patients to do, I kept gaining weight and couldn't lose it, no matter what I tried. But it wasn't just affecting me. It was slowly alienating my daughter, Jamie. Like most moms, I regained my tight body after my first pregnancy. But after my second pregnancy, the weight just wouldn't come off. Until I looked in the mirror and shrieked at the 46 pounds of saggy belly fat that stuck around. The same 46 pounds that led to me being stared and laughed at whenever I was sitting at the park with my daughter. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the person I was becoming. I went from being social, fun, and outgoing to introverted, depressed, and miserable. And I was angry all the time, you know? My daughter, Jamie, asked me to start dropping her off at school a block away. She said it was because she liked walking, but I knew the truth. She was embarrassed about her fat mom dropping her off at school. It broke my heart, and it was about to get a lot worse. Every time I looked in the mirror naked, I would be overwhelmed with shame and anger as 46 pounds of belly fat clung to my waistline like melted ice cream. I knew it was getting bad when I started to have trouble working on patients in my ambulance. And whenever I stepped in and out of the ambulance to help move patients, I was completely out of breath. My colleague took my blood pressure one day, and it was 160/90. I wasn't surprised when he said, "Lisa, you need to lose this weight now. Your blood pressure is dangerously high, and you're at serious risk of a heart attack." He recommended eating less and moving more, and so I went on the popular keto diet, cutting out all carbs, and started doing some light cardio, which only made things worse. Because after a few weeks of successful weight loss, I would pack it all back on, and more. Sound familiar? You work so hard to lose a few pounds, avoiding carbs, exercising, and counting calories. Maybe you fast like I did, not eating for sometimes 2 days at a time, only to end up 10 pounds heavier after all your hard work, and start the vicious weight gaining cycle all over again? I went through all that and more. But even though this evil weight gaining roller coaster almost caused me to give up, it was also the key to discovering the green Thai dessert that would wipe out 46 pounds of my belly fat. Things continued to spiral out of control every time I rebounded with my weight. My knees hurt, my back got worse, and my marriage was on life support. And little did I know, I was just hours away from ending up in the hospital and almost losing my daughter. It was just a typical fall morning in October, just 1 month into high school for my daughter Jamie. Looking back, she had been a little quieter than normal. But I had been distracted fighting with my husband, who was spending more and more time at work after hours with a few of his female colleagues. We stopped making love years ago, and honestly, I was worried we were headed for a divorce. That morning, when I dropped off my daughter, I didn't know it would be the last time I would see her. The rest of the day went by normally. I fought with my husband on the phone. I got my healthy groceries for the week, no carbs, of course. I did my Zumba class after work. But around 6 p.m., an hour after my daughter was supposed to come home, I started to get worried. I hadn't heard from her all day. I called her phone, but it went straight to voicemail. I called my husband. He hadn't heard from her. I called her friends. They said she had left early that day to go home because she wasn't feeling well. I started to panic. Where was my daughter? I called everyone I knew, but no one knew where she was. My beautiful daughter was missing. At around midnight, crying in my husband's arms, we decided to call the police. They informed us that they do everything they can to find her, but they can't promise anything. The statistics didn't help either. One child goes missing every 40 minutes in the USA, and the first 24 hours are critical. And after that, the rate of survival for the child goes down drastically. After 72 hours, the missing person is almost always dead. We'll call you if we find her, the officers said. What they didn't say was if she'd be dead or alive when they found her. For 24 hours, we heard nothing. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't even walk. All I could think about was if I had caused this, and it was about to get a whole lot worse. At 4 a.m., the phone rang. My blood turned to ice. No one calls that early in our home. I knew it was probably the police, but I didn't know if my daughter was alive. I answered the phone to a very serious officer. "Is this Mrs. Shields?" said the officer. "Yes, do you have my daughter?" I blurted out, in tears, praying to God for a miracle. "Lisa, we have your daughter. She's safe in police custody here in Seattle." My first thought was relief. I'm so glad my baby girl was alive. But my second thought was, how did she get to Seattle? That was over an hour away, and Jamie doesn't drive. I asked to talk to her, but the officer said she refused to speak to me. That was my breaking point. My daughter, who had been missing, presumed dead, refused to even acknowledge me. I got up from the couch in panic, my chest tight. I couldn't breathe. My vision went blurry. I woke up in the hospital bed, hooked up to multiple IVs. The doctor told me I was lucky to be alive. He said that I had had a minor heart attack and that I needed to get my weight under control fast. Lisa, overweight people are 81% more likely to have heart disease and twice as likely to die. You need to get this under control now because you might not get so lucky next time. Don't you want to be around for your daughters? And then my daughter, Jamie, then walked into the room in tears, hugged me deeply, and told me she was so sorry for running away. She told me how for the past month she'd been teased every day about her chubby mommy. And she ran away because she didn't want to grow up to be fat like me. Right there, my world dropped out from under me. I was the reason she ran away from home. It was my fault I almost lost my daughter. I stayed in the hospital overnight for observation. That night, I was so angry. Angry at my husband for not loving me or caring to put in any effort anymore. Angry at myself for making my daughter so embarrassed at school she had to run away. Angry at the weight loss industry who had cheated me and emptied my savings. I had tried it all. Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Keto, Paleo, Zumba, Peloton classes. And all I got in return was more belly fat, a daughter running away from home, and a heart attack that almost killed me and left my kids motherless at 42. That night, I cried myself to sleep in the hospital bed, and I made a promise to myself. No matter what, I was going to figure out the weight loss puzzle. I spent the next few months researching online, visiting libraries, and consulting with medical experts, but uncovered nothing new about weight loss. Just the same old advice of eat less and exercise more. And every expert seemed to contradict themselves. One would swear by Atkins. Others would say it causes heart disease. Others would say it's just about exercise, but then warn about the knee and back pain that could come from cardio. And some would promote special fat-burning pills like Garcinia cambogia or raspberry ketones, only to say these things didn't work 6 months later. It was all very confusing, which was no help to people like me or the countless others who were struggling. I felt like I'd hit a brick wall, and after months of deep research and consulting experts, I was no closer to losing my saggy belly fat or shrinking my cottage cheese legs. Sadly, I was close to giving up. But that night, I waddled past my daughter's bedroom as she was sleeping safe and sound. I remembered her running away from home and how she still asks me to drop her off a block from school because she was embarrassed about her fat mom. Immediately, I was filled with new energy and drive. I prayed to God that night like I did every night, begging for an answer. And what happened next is nothing short of a miracle, which is how I knew He heard my prayers. The next day was the first day back at my job after some time off. And first thing in the morning, we got a 911 call from a wife who reported her husband had fainted in their home. We go over there, and as soon as the wife opens the door, I recognize her. It was Melody Chambers, my best friend from college. But this Melody looked different. This Melody looked hot. In college, I was always the hot one, and she was always the chubbier girl. And between you and me, I kind of liked it that way. But now, Melody was slim and fit. I made sure her husband was okay, and we exchanged numbers to catch up. A few weeks later, Melody and I got coffee, where she would reveal a weight loss secret, the green Thai dessert, that would change the course of my entire life and help me get to the real root cause of my weight gain and erase all 46 pounds of my stubborn fat. At the coffee shop, I ordered my usual black coffee. Cream and milk had too many calories. While I watched Melody, the girl who used to be known as Chubby Bubbly for her amazing personality and oversized hips, ordered 2 chocolate chip croissants and a full-fat caramel latte. If you're anything like me, I gained weight just looking at that meal. How could she eat that and look so slim? We sat down and caught up on the past 10 years of our lives, and I watched her devour both chocolate croissants without even thinking, licking her fingers clean. And at the end of the meal, swallowed what looked like a little green dessert. I was floored. I had to know her secret. Did she run all the time? Was she lucky and somehow had her metabolism get faster with age? And what was that green dessert she was eating after each meal? I'm not sure what came over me, but out of nowhere, I just blurted out, "What happened to you? You used to be the fat friend, and now you're slim and healthy, and every guy is checking you out, all while you eat the most delicious food." She looked up at me and smiled. Then what she said next absolutely blew me away. So pay very close attention, because if you've been struggling with your weight at all, it's going to change your life. She told me, "As you know, I used to be the chubby bubbly girl," she said. "What changed?" I asked. She went on to explain a lot of the human metabolism in very science-y terms. But thankfully, as a paramedic, I was used to translating science speak between doctors and patients. Melody first became interested in the real root cause of weight loss after her now ex-husband cheated on her with his secretary at work. It was heartbreaking and a story I hear too often. Honestly, I was a bit worried my own husband was straying. He was spending late nights at the office and barely paid me any attention anymore. After the breakup, Melody made it her mission to uncover the truth about weight loss. She was always a biology nerd, and because of her job, she had access to the newest research available. And one day, after months of failed dieting and exercises, she found her miracle. It was the answer to one very simple question. Why can some people eat pizza, cake, and fries and wake up skinnier, while others, like me, and maybe even you, scarf down salad, starve ourselves, and exercise with colorful resistant bands only to wake up 5 pounds heavier? In the human body, you have a specific digestive molecule called lipase, which is the real hidden master switch behind your stubborn weight. When you eat food, let's say a slice of pizza, the lipase molecule breaks it down into easy-to-absorb chunks. And the more lipase your body produces, the more you can break down the food, specifically the fat. Normally, that's a good thing, because in order for the nutrients to be absorbed by your cells, they actually need to be broken down. The problem occurs when your body produces too much of the lipase molecule, because everything you eat starts to get broken down. And when this happens, research shows your body goes into fat storage mode. So if you've been wondering why it seems like everything you eat, especially all of your favorite foods like pizza, ice cream, and goat cheese, seem to stick to your waistline like glue, it's because you have high lipase levels that are storing all your favorite foods. Then Melody asked me a series of questions to confirm whether or not my lipase molecules are too high. Are you over 35? Research published in the National Institute of Medicine shows that your body produces more lipase as you age. Do you frequently snack or feel the need to snack? Is it hard for you to say no to dessert and pastries? Does it feel like you gain weight whenever you eat carbs? Do you find it difficult to stick with a diet? If you do lose weight on a diet, do you find yourself rebounding soon after? If you answered yes to any of the questions above, like I did, then chances are your lipase molecules are too high, making it impossible to lose weight, no matter how healthy you eat and how much you exercise. Now that you know, you've really got two options. Option 1, stop eating delicious food. That means no more birthday cake, no more pasta, no more pizza. It means planning your day around where your next chicken salad or lettuce wrap is going to come from. And then doing this for the rest of your life. Because the moment you slip up, which happens to all of us, your body will be primed to turn all that yummy food into saggy fat that drapes off your waistline. Maybe you've already experienced this yourself. Thankfully, there's a second option. It's the smarter and, frankly, easier route. See, the real difference between my skinny girlfriends and me was not the food they were eating or the exercise that they weren't doing, but the reason they could gobble down whatever they wanted, like flaky croissants, double chocolate muffins, and piping pepperoni pizza every single day and stay fit, slim, and healthy, is because they had their lipase levels in normal range. So if you want to reclaim that tight, firm body of your youth, the one that radiates beauty and turns heads as you walk in a room, the one that allows you to eat anything you want and not feel guilty about it, you need to get to the root of the issue, reducing your lipase molecules to a healthy, normal amount. So I asked Melody, how do you lower lipase molecules? This has been Melody's main focus for the past 2 years. It took many sleepless nights, years of trial and error, and each time she hit a wall, she'd start over. Eventually, she had a breakthrough that would change the lives of thousands of women, just like you and me. And it came from one of the weirdest places. Melody discovered the answer to lowering your lipase molecules when she was on a work trip through Thailand. On the trip, she noticed that almost all the women native to Thailand were fit, healthy, and glowing. Despite them eating fried noodles almost every night and stuffing their face with chocolate desserts. And they weren't all young either. Many of these slender women were well into their 50s, 60s, and 70s. Yet they glowed with the youth of their 20s. And they had no back or knee pain. Even more amazing, all of them were flaunting their tight, toned tummies. This was especially true during the countrywide ceremonies, like the one that was going on in April of 2022. During the National 3-Day Water Festival, called Songkran, Melody noticed that all the slim, sexy locals were eating a green Thai dessert. This green Thai dessert was something she had never seen before in America. And she had heard rumors from researchers at the prestigious Chiang Mai University in Thailand that this green Thai dessert had magical properties and was a staple of Thai culture. As Melody looked closer at the research, she could finally see why. Research shows this green Thai dessert contains special nutrients that lowers your lipase molecules back to normal. In one study published in the Journal of Applied Biology and Chemistry, Researchers split obese participants into two groups. Group 1 got a placebo to treat obesity. Group 2 received the green Thai dessert. After 6 weeks, the group that received the green Thai dessert dropped dramatically more body fat despite having the same diet as Group 1. As researchers looked at the blood work, it was clear why. This green Thai dessert blocks the amount of lipase your body produces, returning your levels back to normal. Another 8-week study showed that participants who ate this green Thai dessert tripled their weight loss, and most of it came from their waist. Amazing, right? There are dozens of studies showing a direct connection between lipase blockers and shrinking waistlines. The real secret to sustainable weight loss, without going on some weird restrictive diet, is to return your lipase to normal levels. It's that simple. I remember reading about the lipase molecule in school, but never thought it could be this powerful. And I've never had weight loss explained to me so clearly. But it made perfect sense. I looked at Melody across a coffee table and said, "Where can I get this green Thai dessert?" Unfortunately, it's not sold in America. Melody tried to import it herself, but it was confiscated at the border. Like my failed dieting, I felt like I'd hit a dead end. And I was worried I'd never become the role model my daughter could look up to, and that she would run away again. That's when Melody turned my world upside down. You don't need the green Thai dessert, you only need what's inside of it, the lipase-blocking nutrients. Melody told me she spent the past year looking far and wide for other foods that contained the best lipase-blocking nutrients, and consulted with the world's leading biology experts from around the world, which is when she pulled out her bottle of green vitamins and handed them to me. There was the same green dessert I had seen her take after every meal. I asked her what was inside, and Melody said, "These pills are a special combination of 4 of the most powerful lipase molecule blocking nutrients, in the exact doses used in the clinical studies with the most weight loss results. I want you to take them after a meal, like a dessert, for the next month." I couldn't help but think about my daughter, how she'd run away from home and almost died because of my ugly fat rolls. I felt more determined than ever to lose my 46 pounds of nagging, jiggly fat. I took the green vitamins and thanked Melody. And the next day, I started my new routine. For lunch, I still got my normal salad, but I also got a small piece of chocolate cake. I sat down for the entire meal, and after I was done, I pulled out one of Melody's little green vitamins. And before I took it, I hesitated, thinking about all my past failures and how nothing I had tried would work. I almost threw out the bottle. But then I remembered the weeks before, crying on the couch because my daughter was missing, not knowing if I'd ever see her again. And that's when I decided I would do anything to help my daughter. I swallowed Melody's little green vitamin after my meal, like a dessert. It brought me back to my honeymoon in Paris 7 years ago, where I ate chocolate cake and drank wine every day and stayed skinny. I did the same thing for dinner, taking one of Melody's green pills after eating. The next morning, I woke up excited to jump on the scale, but my weight didn't change. I called Melody in tears, telling her this isn't going to work. She assured me it was, and that I just needed to give my body time to use the nutrients, and for my lipase molecules to return to normal levels again. But Melody also said something that made no sense. Melody told me she only wanted me to eat the foods I've been craving, no matter how unhealthy or off limits they seemed. The green vitamin would help my lipase levels that way. I didn't believe her. But what did I have to lose? So, the next few days, I decided to go all in and trust the process. For breakfast, I ate 2 warm cinnamon swirl muffins. For lunch, a turkey sandwich with a side of potato chips. And pasta and pizza for dinner. It was heaven. Every day, I took 1 capsule of Melody's lipase-blocking green vitamin before every meal. But there's no way this could work, right? We've been told our whole lives that carbs are the devil. When I weighed myself 7 days later, something magical happened. I was down 4.5 pounds. I was shocked. Still, I'd been on this path before with the keto diet, where I'd lose a bunch of weight quickly, only to gain it back after. But that skepticism vanished. When I weighed myself on day 14, I was down 11 pounds, eating my favorite foods every single meal. Flaky croissants, spaghetti and meatballs, pepperoni pizza, until one day I woke up and accidentally tried on a pair of jeans I hadn't worn in 7 years. I couldn't believe how I looked in the mirror. In total, I had lost an amazing 46 pounds of baby weight around my hips, thighs, arms, and belly. 10 years of stubborn love handles gone. All while eating my favorite at every meal. I had the body of my wedding day, tight arms, slender hips, and a flat tummy. My husband couldn't keep his eyes or hands off of me. That night, we made love like it was our wedding night. Afterwards, we lay there, cuddling, staring deep into each other's eyes, smiling, laughing, tickling each other. We were us again. And for the first time in a long time, I slept amazing. My skin glowed, my blood pressure was back to normal, and my daughter looked up to me again. I started dropping her off in front of school. And when the teachers asked if anyone could present to the class on their work, she volunteered me to speak in front of everyone. She was proud to be my daughter and show me off, and I was proud to be her mom. Imagine being able to feel confident in your body and turn heads wherever you go. Imagine what it would be like for you to be able to run and play with your kids and grandkids, laughing and creating memories that will last a lifetime. Imagine never having to worry again about your cholesterol or heart issues, and enjoy a long, healthy, happy life free of aches and pains. For the first time in your life, it's now finally possible. People will wonder if you cheated the weight loss game. I know mine did. My friends could see my newfound body and energy and begged me for my life-changing secret. But I was hesitant, because even though I want to share this miraculous discovery with every overweight man and woman who was frustrated, I first wanted to make sure that my miraculous transformation wasn't some weird fluke, but instead would work for anyone, no matter their age, how overweight they were, and how many times they failed to lose weight in the past. So I talked with Melody, and we got together with our own little test group. Some were my friends, others were people we knew from church. And while they all looked different, they all needed to meet our 4 criteria. 1, you need to be at least 35 years old. 2, you need to have at least 20 pounds of jiggly fat that you can't seem to get rid of. 3, you need to have tried to lose weight in the past but couldn't or always added it back. 4, you need to like eating delicious food. All in all, we had 43 people sign up. We ran our little experiment for 90 days, about the same amount of time it took me to lose all of my baby weight. And the results shocked us. 76% of people lost an average of 36 pounds, some losing as much as 79 pounds. And the other 24% of people lost on average about 17 pounds. Most of them looked like they aged 20 years in reverse. All of them got rid of their back and knee pain. Their blood pressure was back to normal again. And all of them needed to buy entirely new wardrobes after our experiment. So we all went on a shopping spree. No matter their age, history, gender, metabolism, or genetics, Melody's green vitamin, packed with the green Thai dessert, returned everyone's lipase levels back to normal. The best part? Everyone was eating their favorite off-limit foods: pizza, cake, donuts, rice, potatoes. And as long as they took the green vitamin after meals, at least once per day, every delicious food just slid right off them without sticking to their waist, hips, or thighs. No exercise or weight loss pill required. After my little experiment, I knew it worked not just for me, but for everyone, including their families. I begged Melody to let me help her share this with every woman in need, which is why I'm sharing this incredible discovery with you here today. I want you to be the next amazing success story, because I know how hard it is to try every diet and exercise program for weeks and months, only to end up back where you started. I know how hard it is to watch your husband go from being unable to keep his hands off of you when you're first married to being your best friend who's overly polite and never in the mood. I know how hard it is to wonder if you'll just be known as the fat mom for the rest of your life. And your daughter's never looking up to you because of the rolls that spill over your gut. But for the first time ever, your future doesn't have to be like that. Because today, we have something that gets to the real root cause of excess weight gain. Introducing Helix 4. Helix 4 is the world's first and only weight loss solution that solves the real root cause of weight gain, out of control lipase molecules, and helps return them back to normal to melt pounds off your waistline without dieting or exercise. So if you want to remove nagging hip, arm, and thigh fat, to shrink your belly to reveal the tight, toned figure you haven't seen since your 20s, and finally feel confident and happy in your body, all while eating your favorite delicious carb-filled meals you grew up with, then Helix 4 is the solution for you. No matter your age, weight, or how many times you failed in the past, within days, you'll start to notice how you look slimmer in the mirror, and how the stubborn fat you've been carrying on your hips, thighs, and arms start to vanish, almost like someone taking an eraser to your belly fat. Next, you'll see the scale number move down, and a newfound energy in your step. Your doctors will be amazed as your blood work comes back near perfect, with normal blood pressure and cholesterol. You'll fall asleep easily and wake up refreshed and energized, with a big smile on your face every morning. Friends, family, and colleagues will notice this new aura of happiness that seems to radiate from you. They'll wonder what your secret is, especially when they see you eating your favorite foods every day and not doing any of the pointless exercising the weight loss industry says to do. You'll tell them, and they won't believe it's that simple, even though it really is. Simply take one capsule of Helix 4 after every meal, like a dessert, and let it work its magic. It won't take long before you're slipping into your old clothes, the ones you wore in your 20s. You're getting compliments about how amazing you look. Men go out of their way to do things for you, buy you coffee, hold open doors, just like they used to. And your husband or partner can't keep his eyes or hands off of you. And every time he hugs you, you shrink into his arms. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Women all over the world are finally getting rid of their nagging belly fat without dieting, exercise, or expensive and dangerous surgeries. And now you can too. The magic comes from 4 of the most powerful lipase blockers on the planet to help return your lipase levels back to normal. The first lipase blocker is Velt Grape, the amazing green Thai dessert Melody discovered. Now you already know it can help triple your weight loss efforts. So instead of losing 1 in a week, you'll lose in 2 or 3 days instead. But it gets even better, because one study showed that Velt Grape helped participants lose 111% of their waist circumference. That's the same as dropping 6 inches off your waist. The main reason researchers hypothesize? Velt Grape brings lipase levels back down to normal, but that's just the beginning. According to UCLA researchers, Velt Grape, the green Thai dessert, also helps increase serotonin levels by over 116%, which helps you regain control and stop emotional binge eating. And yet, another 6-week study showed Velt Grape helped reduce total cholesterol, bad LDL cholesterol, and triglyceride levels by almost 20%. That's the same as taking your levels from 240 all the way down below 200. And if that wasn't enough, another 8-week study, the Velt Grape group, saw a significant drop in blood pressure. Cholesterol dropped by more than 33%, and blood sugar more than 25%. And with every one of these amazing changes, your risk of heart attack and stroke begin to disappear. And your risk of diabetes may shrink away to almost nothing. Not to mention, you'll start to drop 5, 10, even 15 pounds within weeks. The next weight loss super nutrient is a green leafy herb that's been used for more than 2,000 years. This popular medicine, used by ancient Greeks and Romans, is called lemon balm. And in a recent 15-day study looking at lemon balm's effect on anxiety, not only did 95% of study subjects feel better, 70% said their anxiety was completely gone, and 85% said it cured their insomnia. That's a surefire way to banish cravings and keep your waist shrinking every single day. Next, we included another incredible fat-erasing nutrient called ashwagandha, which can double your weight loss. Do you see the power of normalizing your lipase levels? The legendary herb ashwagandha is considered one of the most useful and important Ayurvedic medicines for the last 5,000 years. Traditionally used to calm the brain, reduce swelling, and lower blood pressure, ashwagandha is often considered an adaptogen. Research also shows that ashwagandha can help you lower your BMI by 207%. That's equivalent of losing 10 dress sizes. In another 8-week study, ashwagandha helped people eliminate their food cravings. An effect researchers believe is because of the anti-stress and anti-anxiety powers of ashwagandha. And it was powerful enough that the ashwagandha group lost 70% more weight than the control group. It's probably not surprising to learn that along with the reduced food cravings and weight loss, ashwagandha was shown to knock out stress levels by almost a third. Lastly, we included passion flower, which can help control special molecules like lipase and bring them back to normal. Like lemon balm, passion flower has a rich history of traditional use for anxiety and problem sleeping. In a 12-week study, patients reported that things like restlessness, sleep problems, exhaustion, fear, and lack of concentration all improved, on the average, by almost 60%. All factors that prove that molecules, like lipase, are functioning normally in the body. By now, you're probably asking yourself how you can get your hands on Helix 4 today. To be honest, it's very difficult for the general public to get Helix 4. The special super nutrients inside must be cultivated in a sanitized, state-of-the-art facility, then kept fresh through a proprietary process. Every batch is third-party lab tested to ensure that everything is clean and pure, then packed and shipped fast right to your front door. There's no dangerous stimulants or weird ingredients either. Those things can be like rolling the dice with your health, and that's not something we would ever do. And because Helix 4 helps you lose weight with virtually zero effort, pretty much everyone who uses it keeps on asking for more of the stuff. But as word continues to spread, Helix 4 is also becoming popular in the European Union, which is putting even more of a strain on production. Especially since with today's supply chain issues, it can take months to custom create each batch. As a result, out of stock is always happening. Sure, we could cut corners like many others do and produce Helix 4 using a cheaper and faster manufacturer, but then you wouldn't lower your lipase molecules and you'd stay fat forever. So if you're reading these words right now, count yourself lucky, because there's still a few packs of Helix 4 available. And in the next few moments, I'll share how. Today, and on this page only, you can get a package of Helix 4 for as little as 93 cents a day. See, when we first formulated Helix 4 on our own, buying all the fat-melting nutrients from remote locations around the world, each GMP certified and third-party lab-tested 30-day supply ended up costing around $299, which is extremely fair, especially since it's less than you'll pay for doctor visits, strange diets, prescription medications, or dangerous weight loss surgeries. And yet, unlike those, Helix 4 is the only solution that helps lower your lipase molecules to help you lose weight for good and keep it off. Plus, considering each package contains the purest and most bioavailable form of these ingredients in existence, it's in the exact dosages you need to lower your lipase molecules back to normal. $299 is a steal. But despite all that, I want to help everyone take back control of their body and lose weight effortlessly, which means everyone deserves access to Helix 4. That's why if you act right now and make the life-changing decision to join the 134,567 men and women who have decided, maybe for the first time, to take control over their life, melt years of belly blubber, drop 5 to 7 dress sizes in mere weeks, and have the freedom to eat whatever you want, where you want, and live the life how you want, with glowing skin, boundless energy, and real, genuine happiness. If you act right now, not only will you experience all that and more, but because this isn't about the money for us, you can take an extra 60% off and claim your very own supply of Helix 4 for just $59. And if you're smart, you can pay less than 50% of that. Because thanks to our manufacturer, Nutriville, who's helped us secure everything at an even lower cost and cut out the middleman, you can secure Helix 4 for just $29. And every order of 3 or 6 bottles includes free expedited shipping. Plus, every 6-bottle order will also get you 2 free fat melting bonuses. Free gift number 1, the Stress Relief Cookbook. 7 days to stress-free weight loss, packed with tips and strategies for freeing yourself from the stress triggers that can stand in the way of your weight loss goals. Plus, a 7-day meal plan, packed with simple, delicious, easy-to-prepare meals. And free gift number 2, Rewired for Weight Loss, guided meditations to fast-track your weight loss goals. This 3-part audio bundle will help reprogram and rewire your mind and body to de-stress, boost metabolism, blast through cravings, and supercharge all of your weight loss efforts. When combined with Helix 4, these belly-erasing bonuses can help jumpstart your weight loss, helping you drop 3 pounds the very first day you take Helix 4. It's the perfect addition to Helix 4 you'll be taking every morning for fast results. If that wasn't amazing enough, we're also going to 100% guarantee you lose all your weight with Helix 4 and then it stays off, or we'll refund you every penny. If you're anything like I was, you're probably a bit skeptical. I completely understand. We've all been lied to our entire lives by diet and health professionals who want to sell us the next greatest weight loss diet and exercise plan. The $100 billion weight loss industry would go bankrupt if they told you there's a quick, easy, and natural way to burn belly fat and curb cravings. So to show you how confident Melody and I believe that this weight loss formula will change your life, and so you have absolutely no risk, I'm prepared to protect your order with a 100% 365-day money-back guarantee that works like this. If at any point in the next 12 months after using Helix 4 you're unhappy with the results, I will refund you every cent, no questions asked. Simply email or call us and I'll personally give you a full refund. You don't even have to send it back, and you can keep the free bonuses as well. I don't know anyone else willing to make such a bold promise like that. Because the truth is, if Helix 4 doesn't work for you, I don't want to keep your money anyway. But I'm willing to risk everything because I know the life-changing transformation that will occur once you experience the weight loss powers of Helix 4 nutrients. Does that sound fair? If so, then this is one of the easiest decisions of your life. Order the 6-package option for the biggest savings, free shipping, and 2 free bonuses. Here's why you should buy 3 or 6 bottles. Since we get to save when shipping bulk orders, we feel it's only fair to pass on the savings, up to $228 for 6 bottles, on to you when you order Helix 4 today. And as soon as you choose your package above, whether it's 1, 3, or the smartest option, 6 packages for the biggest discount, plus the 2 free fat erasing bonuses, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Just fill out your information and we'll begin working on your order. Within 5 business days, the mailman will ring your doorbell and hand you your package of Helix 4. Simply open the bottle and take 1 capsule after any meal. and watch as your body transforms before your eyes. Within the first week of taking Helix 4, you'll feel lighter and happier. The scale, for the first time in a long time, will be lower than you've seen in a long time. After the second week, old clothes will feel loose, and your midsection will start to shrink. You'll sleep better and wake up energized. By week 3, your energy levels will return. Your zest for life creates a spark as you continue to drop dress size after dress size. Your back and joint pain will be gone, and your heart health will be stronger than ever. You'll even think clearer, remembering interesting people's faces and names effortlessly. And after week 4, your friends and family probably won't recognize you. They'll be begging you for your secret to such an incredible transformation. Your hair will be luscious, your skin glowing, and you'll wear clothes you haven't in years that hug your slim figure. You'll look in the mirror and fall in love with your body all over again. And your family will too. Your kids will look up to you and be proud to call you their parent. And your partner won't be able to keep their hands off you. Yes, this life is real. It's yours when you act now. This is one of the easiest decisions of your life. And remember, you'll have a full 12 months to try it out and see the full fat-melting power of Helix 4. Which means that even if you're mildly curious, you might as well pick up 6 packages today for the biggest savings and 2 free bonuses. It's completely risk-free. Over the past 2 years, we've learned how quickly life can change, how quickly things can be taken away. Which is why right now is the time to take action and take back control of your weight and your life. Remember, this webpage is the only place you can get Helix 4. Don't bother looking for us on Amazon or at Walmart. We're not affiliated with these profit-centered corporations where it's easy to turn a blind eye on quality. We're a small-town, American-run family business who wants to help others find a natural way to lose weight naturally, without dangerous diets, useless exercise, or expensive prescription medications. We're here for people like you who are ready to make a real, permanent change. Unfortunately, we know that the majority of people who make it this far quit and go back to what they know. Even though they've seen the remarkable evidence, heard the success stories, and know that there's literally nothing like Helix 4 on the market, they fear that it's too good to be true. And that makes sense, especially when you consider all the lies you've been told by billion-dollar weight loss corporations. And out of fear of being disappointed or wasting their time, they turn away and miss out on what truly is a gift from God. But for those of us who really see the miracle in this message, you know that you should never pass up on an opportunity like this. You can tell that Helix 4 is the real deal, and something this life-changing will be sold out soon. For several reasons. The first is, 1. Helix 4 is in high demand. Helix 4 is the only product on the market containing our proprietary blend of the 4 weight loss super nutrients at clinically relevant dosages to restore your lipase molecule back to normal. This is why most of our customers pick up 6 bottles at a time and then come back for 6 more bottles just to make sure they have enough supply on hand to get the maximum fat melting power. Which makes it incredibly hard for a small family-run business like us to keep Helix 4 in stock, especially when you consider number 2. The 4 natural ingredients in Helix 4 are difficult to get a hold of. When we created Helix 4, we made a promise to use only the very best organically grown ingredients to maximize the belly slimming results. As a result, some of the unique ingredients inside Helix 4 are incredibly hard to source, since they only grow in specific remote locations around the globe, which means our supply could dry up at any time, especially with all the supply chain issues going on today. But that's not all, because after we source the best ingredients from around the world, number 3, every batch of Helix 4 goes through a rigorous quality production process. Each bottle of Helix 4 is produced at a GMP certified and FDA approved facility right here in the United States. That way, we can ensure that each and every pill is filled with clean, safe ingredients. If that wasn't enough, we went above and beyond to hire a third-party laboratory to analyze every single batch of Helix 4 and certify that every ingredient we put on the label is included in every pill you take. While this process keeps you safe and ensures you get the best weight loss results, it can often take up to 3 months to produce a new batch of Helix 4. And if the constant high demand, tough to source ingredients, and rigorous production and review process weren't enough, number 4, the weight loss industry threatens to shut us down. Greedy weight loss industry billionaires have gotten rich off prescription meds, diets, and useless exercise programs for decades, preying on honest, hardworking Americans like you and me. In order to protect their riches and keep filling their greedy pockets, they will stop at nothing to shut down authentic companies like Helix 4, who seek to free the American people and give you back the power. As a result, our operations, including this very website, are under threat of being attacked and shut down due to their enormous economic and political influence. These 4 reasons make it impossible to ensure that Helix 4 will continue to be available to the public tomorrow, let alone 6 months from now. Which is probably why most Helix 4 customers stock up on our 6-month supply, so they never have to worry about out of stocks. Order the 6-bottle option for the biggest savings and get 2 free gifts to help you lose 3 pounds your very first day. At this point, you have a very important choice that will lead to 2 very different futures. One of them gives you a future where you love your sexy, slim figure that radiates with youth and happiness every time you look in the mirror, because you look and feel like your 20s again, and people notice. Your back and knee pain has completely vanished, and your blood pressure and cholesterol are back to normal. And you'll do it without having to suffer through another restrictive diet or exercise program. That's the first option. The other path is much darker, because you can continue down the same cold, dark path you are probably on right now. So pay attention, because you're about to make a choice about which future you want. Option number 1. You can exit this page and go back to Zumba classes, avoiding carbs and drinking weight loss tea, and maybe lose a bit of weight, but you'll most certainly regain it soon after. If you choose this option, you'll never be able to just eat what you want. You'll be a prisoner to the weight loss industry, stuck on the hamster wheel of yo-yo dieting and endless amounts of frustration and self-doubt. I'm sure you already know how bleak this future really is, because you've been down that path before. That feeling of being trapped inside a body you hate, feeling hopeless and guilty when you have something other than salad for dinner, only to see the scale go up, and wonder why it's so hard for you to get to your slim figure, and more importantly, keep it. That crushing feeling of the weight piling on week after week, wondering when you lost yourself, your love of life. And that feeling that you're failing as a parent, as a role model for your kids, putting your health at risk, that every day you let it drag on could be your last. And that you're destined to be fat for the rest of your life, no matter what you try. I know you don't want that. Because the truth is, if you've made it this far, I know you're sick and tired of feeling suffocated by your belly blubber, and you're tired of failing diets, useless exercise, and being the fat mom, pretending that everything is all right, even though you're crying inside, and wondering if your husband is really thinking about you every time he looks at you, or if he's really thinking about some Instagram model, because that's not the worst part. The worst part is the person you become. Excess belly fat can eat away at a person's soul, turning them into a ghost, just floating through life. That causes a ripple effect all the way down to your children, which is why I want to show you option 2. Give Helix 4 a risk-free try today. Just imagine what you'll look like in a few weeks from now. Staring into the mirror with a smile so big because of how slim you look. Your stomach and hips are so slender, you're not sure it's even you. You look 10 years younger, Wrinkles that were once there seem to have magically disappeared. Old clothes fit again. And you feel good, better than you have in years. Never again will you have to follow a boring, useless diet, restricting yourself from eating your favorite foods. Never again will you have to suffer from low energy that sucks the soul out of your will to live. Never again will you wonder about what other people are thinking about you, or whether your partner is still attracted to you. You've read this far, so it's clear you are serious about your health and your future, but your loved ones too, and losing the excess flab infesting your waistline. But the decision is ultimately yours. If you don't see the sold out button below, consider yourself lucky, because we still have some Helix 4 left in stock. But it could be gone in a moment. Remember, there are no hidden charges or subscriptions. Everything is just a one-time payment, and you're protected by our lifetime money-back guarantee. So even if you try out Helix 4 for 6 months and don't love the results of your new sexy body, simply let us know, and I'll personally refund you every single penny. There's absolutely no risk, which is why even if you're mildly curious, you might as well try Helix 4 today. So if you're ready to step into your new, slim, sexy body that has your partner all over you and your friends are jealous of your hot new body, order the 6-bottle package below now for the biggest savings. But do it now before supplies run out and this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity vanishes. I look forward to hearing about your success. Lisa Shields and Melody Chambers. Click the 6-bottle package of Helix 4 below for the biggest savings and free shipping.